so eager to come on here, huh? Well, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to another episode of the Empower Her Talk Show. I am your host, Coach Salita. I didn't change my banner. I apologize. That's because I'm doing all kinds of stuff, right? So we're going to just leave that there because it is me speaking. So um, we're going to go ahead and leave that there. Okay, so I want to first and foremost thank AOC for this great opportunity. I want to thank Cox Cable, LUS, and the six surrounding parishes that gives me the opportunity to come here every Thursday and give you this great information. You guys, whoa, we've had so much going on, and it's never ending. Okay, it's never ending. Um, so again, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to be in your presence, right? So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, I want to talk about the different. I mean, I don't think I talked about this. No, no, this should be our second show. Is this our second show for this month or first? I can't remember, you guys. I cannot remember. Okay, but anyway, either way it goes, this month, um, October Awareness Month, we're going to cover domestic violence, which we're going to do tonight. Breast cancer awareness. Yeah, we did talk about this. National ADHD Awareness Month, National Down Syndrome Awareness Month, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, mental illness awareness, which was this week only. So Friday it would be over with. World Mental Health Day is on the 10th of October, which is, oh yeah, 2 days from now, 3 days from now, sorry. Spina Bifida Awareness Month and Sudden Infant Death Syndrome Awareness and National Bully Prevention. So the ones that I think I want to kind of look into or delve into, we're going to do domestic violence and breast cancer and bullying is three that I want to definitely dig into. If we have time for more, we will. But tonight I want to talk about domestic violence. The name of our show tonight is Love Doesn't Hurt. Okay, love does not hurt, and we're going to visit some websites. One of the numbers that you guys, if you're interested in, if you need some help, you know somebody needs some help, the number you can call is 1-800-799-7233. That's 1-800-799-7233, or text to 88788. That is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Okay. You can also chat, okay, and you can visit their website, which we're going to go through the website tonight. Okay. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. You know what? I guess if I, there we go. Okay, so we're going to go to the website. Let me show you what it shows up when you go to the website, which I thought was very interesting. So when you go to the website, and this is what you're going to see, it says internet usage can be monitored and impossible to erase completely. If you're concerned your internet usage might be monitored, call us at 800-799-SAFE or 800-799-7233. That's the number I sent you. That I just gave you guys. Learn more about digital security. Remember to clear your browser history after visiting this website. And this is for someone who might be having some issues, okay? And it says, please contact 911 if you feel like you're in immediate danger or life-threatening situation. Okay, so it says leave this site safely. You can quickly leave this site by clicking the X. So the X is up here if you wanted to get out. Say somebody's watching you on here. and you don't want them to watch you on here, actually, you can click that X up there and get off. Okay. I don't have that problem. I am not in a situation like this, so I don't mind doing this. Okay. Um, but this is for ones who actually are going and trying to get some help. Um, we're here to serve all those impacted by relationship abuse 24/7, confidentially due to high demand. You may experience a longer wait time to connect with a live advocate if you are unable to wait safely or aren't ready to call, chat, or text. Okay. You can search our directory of local providers section anytime for resources and support in your area. Okay. So you can call. If they say they take too long, you can chat. Okay. You can also text them, right? And then also it has an AI chat on there, our domestic violence informed compassionate AI chat. Ruth can help when you're unable to reach a live advocate to speak to a live person, call, chat, or text live. Okay. So this right here this is a great source of information. Get help, plan for safety, local providers, identify your abuse, support others, and get involved. Um, so when you talk about getting help, this is where we can get help at. Okay. Um, you can even get legal help, local providers. Let's see who's the local provider. So I'm going to put in my what's the name? I'm going to put in here my zip code. I'm going to put that one in there. Let's see what happens if I search. No results. Okay, so let me try another one. Look, it says no result. Let's see. I will be in trouble, you guys, because there's none in there for me. Oh my God. They offer direct support to those affected by domestic violence. These providers offer essential services such as emergency shelter, counseling, financial. So I'm gonna say right now, they don't have one for my area because I put in all these are all our local what's the names zip codes, and they don't even have. Okay, so let's go this way. Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay. So they don't have that. Okay, that's something I might need to find out from them. I might need to do a phone call and find out why they don't have that because that's very important, right? Um, so this is where we understand or we learn about abuse, and we're gonna go through this. Um, let's talk about the warning signs, recognizing the warning signs of abuse. Okay. Recognizing the warning signs of abuse. At the start of a new relationship, it's not always easy to tell if it will later become abusive. In fact, many abusive people appear like ideal partners in the early stages of a relationship. The warning signs of abuse don't always appear overnight and may emerge and intensify as the relationship grows. Yet, every relationship is certainly different, and domestic violence doesn't always look the same. However, one feature shared by most abusive relationships is that the abusive partner tries to establish or gain power and control through many different methods at different moments. So you have to pay attention to what your partner or your significant other is saying to you. Okay, so we're going to talk about common signs of abusive behavior in a partner. Will include additionally even one or two of these behaviors in a relationship is a red flag that abuse may be present. Telling you that you never do anything right. Okay, sometimes people say stuff to you like that in a sarcastic way or in a funny way, but they're really kind of telling you something. Showing extreme jealousy of your friends or time spent away from them. Yes, yes, yes. Boy, you took too long. What were you talking about? Who were you talking to? Preventing or discouraging you from spending time with others, particularly friends and family members or peers. Well, I was invited to a luncheon with my sisters. if you need anything, you can call me there. Wait a minute, wait a minute. You going where? Who? You didn't talk to me about that. No, no. So I'm not invited to hang out with you and your sisters. You know what I'm saying? No, it's just me and my sisters. We don't get a chance to spend a lot of time together, but we are today, and that's the reason why I'm telling you. No, no. Think about it. Insulting, demeaning, or sharing, or shaming you, especially in front of other people. Yes, I've seen that. And yes, I cannot stand for anybody to confront me in the public. Do not. I cannot stand that. Because I don't do that to the person. So if I don't do that to you, I'm not expecting you to do that to me. And I'm going to say something. That's just me. Preventing you from making your own decisions, including about working or attending school. Well, I thought I would take extra class. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. You didn't talk to me about, so that means you're going to be extra late coming home if you take an extra class? No, I don't think we had that discussion. Okay. Preventing you from making your own decisions. Okay. So do you have to take that job where your shifts change? That means you won't be at home with me. Okay. Controlling finances in the household without discussion, such as taking your money or refusing to provide money for necessary expenses. Well, I needed $50. What do you need $50 for? Well, one of the things that I needed for was to buy me some more personal items. Okay, I'll get them for you. What do you need? Give me a list and I'll go to the store and get them for you. But you don't, it's not the same. What do you mean it's not the same? That's the time I spend with, myself and enjoying. No, I can get them for you. Did you deposit the check or your check into the account? I'm just giving you some examples. Pressuring you to have sex or perform sexual acts you're not comfortable with. I don't know how to do that one, y'all. Okay. You don't want to do that? No, I'm not interested in doing that. No, wait a minute. You love me, right? You do love me, right? Yes, I love you, but what does that have to do? Wait a minute. What does it have to do with it? If you love me, you'll do it. If you love me, you'll do it. That's all I'm going to say with that. Pressuring you to use alcohol, do drugs or alcohol. So, here, take some of this. But I'm not interested. I'm not drinking. I don't drink. Wait a minute. What do you mean you don't drink? I drink soda, juice, water, but I don't drink alcohol. It's not something I want to. Wait a minute. You're not going to drink for me? Let's celebrate. Can we celebrate something else? Can you bring me a juice or a Coke or something? No, we're celebrating. I want us to get loose. I want you to get loose. Think about it like that. Intimidating you through threatening looks or actions. Okay. Or like grabbing you or grabbing something out of your hands because they really don't want you to have it. Keep that in mind. Insulting your parenting or threatening to harm or take away your children or pets. Golly, you don't even know how to raise kids. Who taught you how to do that? Your mama wasn't in the picture. If you don't start doing it right, guess what? I'll take them from you. That's if you're married. Okay. Intimidating you with weapons like guns, knives, or bats or mace. Why do you have that gun? Let me tell you something. If you get out of hand, you can guarantee you I'm going to be using this on you. Okay? Destroying your belongings to or your home. Tearing up stuff. Throwing stuff. Something that you love. Burning it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It says the advocates are available 24/7 to discuss your situation and identify. So remember, no one deserves to experience abuse of any kind for any reason. So let's talk about types of abuse. Relationship abuse is a pattern of behaviors used to gain or maintain power and control over the partner. Okay, this can manifest in different ways. Multiple types of abuse usually occur in abusive relationships. Understanding how abuse occurs and intersects can help you safely respond to situations below and some ways to identify the different types of abuse. Let's talk physical abuse. You might be experiencing them if they pull your hair, punch, slap, kick, bite, choke, or smother you. Forbid or prevent you from eating or sleeping, using weapons against you, including firearms, knives, bat, or mace. Prevent you from contacting emergency services, including medical attention or law enforcement. Harm your children or pets. Drive recklessly or dangerously with you in the car or abandon you in unfamiliar places. Force you to use drugs or alcohol, especially if you have a history of substance abuse. Wow. Trapping you in your home or preventing you from leaving. Throwing objects at you, prevent you from taking prescribed medication or deny you necessary medical treatment. Wow. So let's talk emotional abuse. Includes non-physical behavior that are meant to control, isolate, or frighten someone. These behaviors are often more subtle and hard to identify, but are just as serious as other types of abuse. Now, before we go further, I want to make sure that I want you guys to not think, for first and foremost, that I have not been in abusive relationships. I have. When I was younger, um, when I was in the military, I was in an abusive relationship. I didn't realize it was abusive. I knew it was wrong, but I didn't take it in as serious as I know now to have taken it. I was dating this one guy, and he was literally cheating on me with someone else, right? Um, but he didn't mind. He had to, instead of allowing me to move on, you know, stop dating him and move on, he would do crazy things. And if you've ever been to Germany, I was stationed in Germany at this time, and the apartments, usually you can lock it from the inside, from the outside. Like if I'm inside, you can lock the door on the outside, and I can't get out unless I have a key to get out. Well, when I would get upset and I would want to leave, he would lock me in the house and leave, and I can't get. And I was on the second floor, so I couldn't climb off the balcony. Um, and I would have to stay in the house until he comes back home to let me out because I couldn't get out. And you got to remember, there was no cell phones back then, so and you just had to. I had to wait it out. That was a form of punishing me to keep me from leaving. And remember, it says on here, they prevent you from leaving. That was a form of abuse. I didn't realize that, but it was back then. Okay. Um, Very manipulative. When I moved back into the barracks, um, he would come and talk to all my friends and have my friends beg me to take him back. Yeah, didn't realize that was abuse. So when we talk about emotional abuse, includes non-physical behavior that are meant to control, isolate, or frighten someone. These behaviors are often more subtle and hard to identify, but are just as serious as other types of abuse. Calling you names, insulting you, or constantly criticizing you, acting jealous or possessive, or refusing to trust you, isolating you from family, friends, or other people in your life because it makes someone easier to control, monitoring your activities with or without your knowledge, including demanding to know where you go, who you connect, and how you spend your time, attempting to control what you wear, including clothes, makeup, or hairstyles, humiliating you in ways, in any way, especially in front of others, gaslighting by pretending that not to understand, refusing to listen to you, questioning your recollection of facts, events, or sources, trivializing your needs or feelings, or denying previous statements or promises, threatening you, your children or family, or your pets with or without weapons, damaging your belongings, including throwing objects, punching walls, kicking doors, blaming you to their blaming you for their abusive behavior, accusing you of cheating or cheating themselves and blaming you for their actions. Hmm. cheating on you intentionally to hurt you and threatening to cheat on you again to suggest that they're better than you. Hmm. Telling you that you're lucky to be with them and that you'll never find someone better. I've heard people say that. I've actually heard men say that to women. And I've heard women say that to men too. Women have a way or two. Don't think women are excluded from being abusive. It's just not well talked about. Um, Also, when we talk about inter relationship, um, I just the other day I was like going through scrolling through and I saw this two girls were fighting, um, and they were fighting because one of them said the other one was talking to a guy, and this was a same-sex couple, and she was wailing on that young lady. She was wailing on her, okay, and she was littler than the other girl was, and it kind of bothered me. So you no, I'm gonna leave that there, but it was bothering me. So same-sex relationships have the same issues, okay, same issue. So let's talk sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is when a partner controls the physical and sexual intimacy in a relationship. This is often involves acts in a way that is non-consensual and forced. So you might be experiencing sexual abuse, make you dress in a sexual way you're uncomfortable with, insult you in sexual ways, or call you explicit names, force or manipulate you into having sex or performing sexual acts, especially when you're sick, tired, or physically injured from their abuse, strangle you or restrain you during sex without your consent, hold you down during sex without your consent, hurt you with weapons or objects during sex, involve other people in your sexual activities against your will, ignore your feelings regarding sex, force you to watch or make pornography, and intentionally give you or attempt to give you a sexual transmitted infection. Those are all sexual abuse tactics. Let's talk financial abuse. Financial or economic abuse occurs when an abusive partner extends their power and control into your financial situation, providing an allowance or closely monitoring how you spend it, including demanding receipts for purchases, depositing your paycheck into an account you can't access, preventing you from viewing or accessing bank accounts, stopping you from working, limited the hours that you can work, getting you fired, or forcing you to work certain types of jobs, maxing out your credit cards without permission, not paying credit card bills or otherwise harming your credit score, stealing money from you, your family, or your friends. Wow, how would you do all that, right? Withdrawing money from children's savings accounts without any permission, living in your home but refusing to work or contribute to the household, forcing you to provide them with your tax returns or confiscating joint tax returns, refusing to provide money for necessary or shared expenses like food, clothing, transportation, medical, or medicine. And you guys, this is crazy because this actually happens, right? Technical facilitated abuse. Technical facilitated abuse, also known as online abuse, is the use of technology, image-based sexual abuse, extortion, um, internet partner surveillance, internet of things abuse, and online spaces to bully, harass, stalk, intimidate, or control a partner. This behavior is often a form of verbal, emotional abuse conducted online. So let's see what telling you who you can and cannot follow or be friends with on social media, sending you negative, insulting, or threatening messages or emails, using social media to track your activities, insulting or humiliating you in their posts online, including posts unflattering photos or videos, sending, requesting, or pressuring you to send unwanted explicit photos or videos, sexist or otherwise compromising messages stealing or insisting on being given your account back passwords, constantly texting you or making you feel like you can't be separated from your phone, or for fear that you'll anger them. I was watching a movie the other night. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was a Lifetime movie, and literally all of this was going on in the movie. Looking through your phone or checking on your pictures, texts, or phone records, using any kind of technology such as spyware or GPS in your car or your phone. I think about those Apple tags they use. Using any kind of technology, such okay, I just said that. Using smart home technology, smart speakers, or security cameras to track their movements, communications, and activities. Creating fake social media profiles in your name and image, or using your phone or email to send messages to others, pretending it's you as a way of embarrassing to isolate you. So sending terrible messages to other people, like when you're being doxxed, well, that's a form also. If someone is doing it that loves you or claim they love you and they dox you, and then they got you sending, or they're taking over your account where they're using your name and your face and your words, or some of your words, to make it sound like you're in beef with somebody. Yeah, exactly. So these are the things you can think about doing if you're dealing with someone who's using um, technology, right? You never have to share your passwords. You don't have to send any explicit pictures, videos, messages that are uncomfortable sending, right? Sexting can have legal consequences. Nude photos or videos of someone under the age of 18 could be considered child pornography, which is illegal to own or distribute. It's okay to turn off your phone or not respond to messages right away. You have the right to your privacy. Be sure that the people who might need to reach you in an emergency still can. Save or document threatening messages, photos, videos, or voicemails as evidence of abuse. Don't answer calls from unknown or blocked numbers. Your abuser may try calling you from another line if they suspect that you're avoiding them. Find out if your phone company allows you to block numbers and how many, if so. I know I can block numbers on my cell phone. I don't know if anybody can do that on theirs, but I know I can block numbers on mine. Once you share, once you share a post or message, is no longer under your control. Abusive partners may save or forward anything you share, so be careful sending content you wouldn't want others to see. Know and understand your privacy settings. Social media platforms allow users to control how their information is shared and who sees it. These settings are often customizable and may be found in the privacy section of the website. Know that some apps may require you to change your privacy settings in order to use them. Be mindful when checking in places online, either by sharing your location in a post or posting a photo with distinguishable backgrounds. I do not like when my location is open. That bothers me. Not that I'm worried about anything like that. I'm just saying I just don't like my location open. So I have to always make sure I check my phone and make sure my location is not being shown. So I'll show you on my phone. Let's see here. My location. Make sure you see. Let me make sure you guys. I don't know if you can see it, but my location is off. My location is right here, and I make sure it's off because nobody needs to know where I'm at all. Here, okay? Ask your friends to always seek permission from you before posting content that could compromise your privacy. Do the same for them. Give everybody that same courtesy. Avoid contact with your abuser in any capacity through technology, online, or in person. Consider changing your phone number if the abuse and harass doesn't stop. Definitely, very, very much so important to do that. Okay. So the next thing we're talking about is sexual coercion. Coercion. So it lies in the continuum of sexually aggressive behavior. It can range from begging and persuasion or forced sexual contact. But even if the partner is enforcing you, to perform sexual acts without your consent, making you feel obligated to do them, is still sexual coercion. So this is how it can occur. Implying that you owe them something sexually in exchange for previous action, gifts, or consent, excuse me. Giving you drugs or alcohol to loosen up. Remember, I said that word this morning, just a few minutes ago, your inhibitions. Using your relationship status as leverage, including by demanding sex as a way to prove you love or by threatening to cheat on or leave. Just say go. Once you realize that you're in a relationship that's not working for you and you're trying to get out of it, just say go. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm saying this from a standpoint where we have to figure out, and these are ways to do it. I'm not knocking what's saying. We ourselves have to kind of really look at ourselves when we get into these relationships. We don't know at first, but when we find out, it's time for us to go. It's nothing about staying in a relationship where you're not welcome, because that's basically what it is. You're not welcome. Okay, if you were welcome, you'd be treated differently. So you're not welcome. Okay, reacting with sadness, anger, and resentment if you say no or don't immediately agree to something, or trying to normalize their sexual demands by saying that they need it. Continue to pressure you after you say no, or intimidating you into fear what will happen if you say no. You got to pay attention to this. And look, I didn't know this one. Reproductive coercion is a form of power and control where one partner strips another person of the ability to control their own reproductive system. It can be difficult to identify this form of coercion because it's often less visible than other types of abuse occurring at the same time, and may appear as pressure, guilt, or shame about having or wanting children, or not having or wanting them. Wow. Okay. So what does this one say? Okay. It says not refusing to use a condom or other types of birth control, breaking or removing a condom before or during sex, or refusing to pull out, lying about methods of birth control, i.e., having a vasectomy or being on the pill, removing birth control methods like rings, IUDs, or contraceptive patches, or sabotaging methods by poking holes in condoms or tampering with pills, withholding money to purchase birth control, monitoring your menstrual cycles to inform their abuse. Wow. Forcing pregnancy or not supporting your decision about when or if you have children, if you want to have children. Intentionally becoming pregnant against your wishes. Forcing you to get an abortion or preventing you from getting one. We already know that's already been taking place. Threatening you or acting violent if you don't agree to end or continue a pregnancy. And I do know there have been several people, several young men and women. Men have killed the woman. I sound so country. Have murdered the young lady because she got pregnant and they didn't want the baby. Yeah, especially if they're married. Keeping you pregnant by getting you pregnant again shortly after you have a child. But then again, if you have control over your body, then there's no need for him to try that again, because guess what? You took your birth control. And you know you're supposed to wait 6 to 8 weeks before you have sex after a baby anyway. So you should be using precaution, right? Stalking. Oh my God. Let's talk about stalking. Stalking can look like showing up at your home or workplace unannounced or uninvited, sending you unwanted text messages, letters, emails, or voicemails, leaving you unwanted items, gifts, or flowers, calling you and hanging up repeatedly, or making unwanted phone calls to you, your employer, a professor, or a loved one, right? Using social media or technology to track your activities, spreading rumors about you online or in person, manipulating other people to investigate your life, including using someone else's social media account to look at your profile, or befriending your friends in order to get information about you. Wow. Waiting around at places you spend time, damaging your home or car or other property, hiring a private investigator to follow or find you as a way of knowing your location or movements. Who would do that? That's too much. No, I'm just kidding. But people actually do that. I've seen plenty of stories like that. So let's talk about spiritual abuse as a form of emotional psychological abuse. It may involve an elder or faith leader inflicting abuse on members of the congregation, fostering a toxic culture through shame or control. However, it's important to recognize that spiritual abuse can extend beyond organized religion settings and occur within intimate relationships. Individuals or of any belief system in irrespective of their religion can experience spiritual abuse. Religion or spiritual beliefs of another person are ridiculed or insulted, denies the other partner the right to practice their religion or spiritual beliefs, manipulates or changes their partner's religion or spiritual beliefs, raising children in a faith that the other partner does not agree with, and religion is used to justify or minimize abusive behavior such as physical, financial, emotional, and sexual abuse. Now, it basically said here that pastors do that people are being spiritually abused. I am definitely going to bring that up. Wow. Okay. Documenting your abuse. First of all, being able to document your abuse is very important. Documenting the warning signs of dating abuse in every form that it occurs will help provide proof of your partner's behavior if you ever need it, for legal reasons or otherwise. For some survivors, it can be used to validate your experience and process complex emotions. So the way that you do that is keeping a journal of what you experienced, including descriptions on how the incident made you feel. That's why a journal is so important. Okay, that's why a journal is so important to have. Writing down statements that you, your partner, or any other witnesses make before, during, or after the abuse. Recording dates, time, and descriptions of incidents. If furniture is overturned or items were thrown, describe the scene and take photos of the damage. Documenting any injuries, no matter how small, with photos if possible. Seeking medical care even if there is no visible injuries, especially if you have been strangled or choked. Filing a report with the police if it's determined that it's safe to do so. Wow. So the way that you document technology facilitated abuse. Threats and other controlling behaviors often occur online or over the phone, and your partner may even admit to abusing you in a message or post intentionally or unintentionally. If you intend to eventually seek legal recourse, evidence of the abuse will be important to building your case. Evidence of technology facilitated abuse is often fleeting and may be easily deleted, whether by accident or intentionally. Take steps to secure documentation of any technology facilitate abuse you're experiencing by printing out emails, or call logs that contain evidence or information about the incident. Make sure the printout include the sender's recipient date and time. Printing out text messages or taking pictures of phone displays, of a phone display containing the message, contact information, date, and time. Printing screenshots of social media posts that contain evidence of abuse. This may appear in the form of admissions of abuse, threats, or violence, or even photos that you didn't consent to. Check your profile as well as your partner's for evidence. Recording voicemail of abuse, including the time and data of the message. If you don't have a cell phone, camera, computer, or other technology to help you document abuse, consider visiting a public library to access computers and printers and possibly rental photo equipment to compile evidence of abuse. Friends, loved ones, or community organizations may also be able to lend you technology or help you to document the abuse. Make sure all your documentation is stored in a place that your abuser is unable or unlikely to look. Be creative in how and where you store evidence. Examples of ways to safely Store technology facilitated abuse evidence includes creating a separate email address for the sole purpose of documenting abuse. Store everything you write as saved messages and compile photos in one place, just to be sure not to use and count for other purposes. Memorizing passwords you create and avoid mentioning plans to people electronically. Your partner might be monitoring your movements through your text or social media. Having a backup drive to upload any important documentation or information. Using password protected online journals. Taking care to keep your password private. Hiding printed evidence is a place your abuser won't look, like a separate room or hidden in the basement. We don't have basements here. Sharing digital or physical copies of your documentation with a trusted family member or friend. Be sure to tell them that this information is private and that your abusive partner should not know that they are helping. Okay. So documenting your sexual assault. Your safety should always be your first priority, but your long-term well-being depends on seeking support from someone you trust, as well as medical attention. Okay. If you intend to pursue criminal legal charges against your attacker, you'll also need to take steps immediately after the incident to document the abuse before cleaning yourself or changing clothes. If you're sexually assaulted, try to get to a safe place away from your attacker where you can think through your next steps. You may be scared, angry, confused, and hurt. Remember, the abuse was not your fault. Steps to consider next. Contact someone you trust. Having someone there to support you after experiencing sexual assault can help. You express the and process complex feelings in a way that doesn't threaten your safety and can give you room to focus on your healing while they help you with everything else. It's often useful to speak with a counselor or sexual assault hotline or support group if you don't feel comfortable reaching out to a friend or family member. You can always contact us to take you through your situation and identify available resources. Go to an emergency room or a health clinic. It's extremely important that you seek health care as soon as you can after being assaulted. You can expect to be treated for any injuries, offered medication to help prevent pregnancy and or STIs, and have tests run to ensure your long-term well-being. There may be also sexual assault advocates in areas who can assist you with answering any questions. A sexual assault nurse examiner can provide these services and collect evidence in case you decide to pursue legal actions in the future. Report what happened. If you are determined that it's safe for you to do so, you may report what happened to law enforcement to pursue criminal legal recourse against your attacker. If you decide to do so, it's important that you do your best to avoid altering or destroying any evidence of the attack to prepare a stronger legal case. That means don't shower, wash your hair, body comb, um, hair or body, comb your hair or change your clothes, even if it's hard not to do so. Not to, okay? If you're nervous about going to a police station, it may help bring a trusted friend with you, keeping in mind the relevant safety consideration for them as well. Because here, a while back, a young lady was having issues with her boyfriend, and she was breaking up with him. He had attacked her. They were on their way home. He pulled her hair. He hit on her and everything, right? So she was with her friend. They Instead of her going to her house, she went to her friend's house. He found them over there, and he shot both of them and killed them. After she reported it to the police. And the police told her, because he had stole her phone or something he stole from her. And the police told her to come back Monday. It was on the weekend. Well, I think she was killed on that Sunday. They were killed on that Sunday or that Saturday. I can't remember what day it was. They were told to come back Monday and file a report. And he killed them that weekend. Remember that you always have options. Speaking with one of our advocates can be a good place to start. Contact us. So, and that was here. That was, I think that happened maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, if it's been that long. Um, so please keep in mind, this happens. It definitely happens. Okay. And again, that number is 1-800-799-7233. That's 1-800-799-7233. Or you can text 88788. Okay. To get the help that you need if you're in a situation where you can't get out of. And let me say something about these phones. Okay. These phones have had a many person murder. These phones in the social media platforms, and they don't want to take blame for it. And I think each and every person who has lost somebody through domestic violence, through Facebook, through the internet, or through they should sue. The family should sue. Yes, the family should sue. These things right here is a weapon in itself. And that's why they added technology of facilitated abuse, because these right here is a reason why a lot of people are not here. And it's many stories about someone who they date, and they date them and they know them, and then they start the harassment. I know someone personally that was dating someone, and they were having some issues, and they took it to the internet. And they were very disrespectful on the internet. I'm just saying, it's not worth it. Whenever you're with someone and they want to have access to your phone, and you're not married to them, and they're not paying your bill, that's an issue. And the ideal that some people say, well, by right, no, no, because we're dating, we're not married. And even if we were married, you still don't have access to my phone if I desire you not to. It's my phone. But we get into these illusions, we get broken down about these phones, and it is the killer. It is the killer right here. This is the murderer right here, because so many people have died because of this phone. And I know everybody's not the same. I do. I understand that. Everybody can't give their husband or their boyfriends their phone, because maybe it's something, not to say that they're hiding something, but it's a sense of privacy. I respect my husband enough. If he tells me he wants me to do something on his phone, I'll do it. I'll give my husband my phone. I don't have a problem with that at all, because I don't have anything to hide. And he doesn't have anything to hide. So we don't have an issue with giving each other our phones, because we find a lot of stuff funny on here. So if I find something funny, hey, look at this. And sometimes he'll hold my phone for a long time just looking at all the videos. And if you want to look at anything else, he can. He can look at comments. He can look at posts. I don't have time for that. We're too grown for that. We're too mature for that. You know, we don't worry about that kind of stuff. But I know everybody's not me. I get that. I get that 100%. Everybody doesn't have a marriage where trust is there when it comes to stuff like that. I get that. But I do want you to understand, it has a lot to do with why people are divorced. A lot of people are in their grave because of this. Babies are born because of this. Unwanted. When I say unwanted, I'm not saying the baby's not wanted. I'm saying the situation that the baby is being put in. It's not the parents, it's the baby that's being put in positions that they did not ask to be put in because of this. And we think it's all right. We find it fascinating. We think it's a joke. It's not a joke, it's real. And this phone, when it comes to domestic violence, this phone, it was one young man actually killed his wife. No, he killed his ex-girlfriend or his girlfriend, I can't remember, and then filmed it. He put it on the phone. There's another video, which is security. This was in this person's house that he was a cop. He killed his wife. And they actually showed him shooting her, then going up, refilling his gun, and coming back down and shooting her. I'm just saying. And I think it was something to do with the phone. I'm not for sure. But so many of those incidents are happening. This phone, people who own phones, who own these social media platforms should be being sued every time somebody dies. They should be being sued. I'm sorry, I believe that. Um, and people like say, well, why should they be sued? Because your your whole platform facilitated the murder, the abuse. They facilitated it. That's why I think they should be sued in a lawsuit, along with the family who lost, the victim's family. They should add social media in the lawsuit. That's just me. And you assume enough, they'll get tired because their money don't last. I mean, I'm not saying that their money don't last, but their money eventually, when you keep getting sued, but you have to have a powerful lawyer to sue them, because if they got powerful lawyers, then you probably won't get anywhere, or they might even want to pay out. Their money is long, yours not, and you on there putting together a GoFundMe account to actually bury that person because nobody thought that would happen. So that's something to think about. Be respectful of other people's privacy with this thing. If you have a notion that they're cheating, then it's up to you. It's not the phone's fault that they're cheating. It's their fault. If you cannot have a decent conversation with them to talk about to talk about what's going on, they don't want to talk about it, then you might need to just pack up and leave. Oh, that's easier said than done. Then don't put yourself in a situation where you can't pack up and leave. We can be smarter than what we think we are. I know fear comes in. I know you've been beaten down. A lot of women have been beaten down. A lot of men have been beaten down so they believe that they cannot leave. But they can. They can leave. But they got to want to. And when the opportunity hits, do it. Don't hesitate. And so many people have hesitated. We have allowed love to manipulate us into really thinking that we cannot do nothing without this person. But I love him. That's the first thing comes out of our mouths. But I love him. But love doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt in the way where you're in the hospital. Your ribs are broke. You have a black eye. That's not love, y'all. That's not love. And I hope each and every person out there who've experienced I'm saying childhood, have experienced any type of domestic violence. That is not love. Love doesn't break your arm or your leg or push you or punch you. That's not love, y'all. That's not love. And I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart because I worked at the CASA program and I volunteered in shelters. That's not love. Calling you out of your name, shaming you, being nasty in front of other people. That's not love. I've experienced that. I've experienced that in the military more than on in my civilian. It was more like I could control it in my civilian world, opposed to controlling it in the military. Because the guy that I was dating at the time, we were in the same unit, we were in the same battalion, and we were in the same company. So I constantly saw that person. It wasn't like I'd get away because he was in my platoon also. So there was no way of me getting away from him. And he used to have a bad habit of shaming me in front of other people. Talk about me like a dog. That verbal abuse, I know what that is. And that's why I said I can't sit here and pretend like, oh my gosh, I've been through some things, but I also learned and I understood that I am smarter now than I ever have. And I believe in myself. And look, let me tell y'all something. Even when I got away from him, let me tell you how love is and how manipulative. Did you, and I'm saying this to you guys, and you hear me, I wanted to go back with him. I had a girlfriend who was right by my side, and she would go to hell and back for me. She was so mad at me. Oh, she was so mad when I even mentioned, after how he had treated me, I even mentioned to her that I wanted to continue talking or I wanted to start talking back. She was so hot at me because I didn't value myself. I didn't think I was worth anything. I had been taught that way, by him. And you got to remember, I'm in the military. I'm not with daddy and mommy at home. I'm in the military. So you don't have that same protection that you would if you were at home. So I learned that. And I learned to be strong, and I learned to take care of myself and to know that I am better than what I have been told, and how he was treating me and how he actually had other people treating me. You learn that. Yeah, you learn that. But that was years ago. I'm much more smarter now. And I don't take anything from nobody. Period. I'm a whole nother creature now. And I don't take any of that with me. I've never taken it into any relationship after all of that I went through. Didn't take none of that with me in my relationships because I healed and moved on. That's what you have to do. You have to be strong enough to do that. Okay? So we are going to leave it right here, but I'm going to give you that number again, 1-800-799-7233. That's 1-800-799 7233. The text is 88788. Text 88788. And I am going to go back over here real quick, and I'm going to go back up here to the top on this page. And let's go here. So we went through all of this. So, and this is the National, you can find this website, the hotline.org is the name of it, but it's the National Domestic Violence Hotline website that you can go to. All right? The National Domestic Violence Hotline. Okay? So I am going to stop sharing that, and we are back. Okay, so I am really looking forward to us coming together next week. Hopefully, I will have a guest in our midst that has had breast cancer. We're going to talk a bit bit about breast cancer. I want her to tell us her story about how she handled breast cancer. Okay. So, guys, thank you for hanging out with me here on the Empower Her Talk Show. You guys have a great evening, and bye bye.